for more than 45 seconds.
Then you'll forget it.
What?
You forget it.
It's not that you forget it, but we don't have powers of concentration to do that.
Word problem.
If you're, especially nowadays when all of us, whether we're diagnosed or not, we're all ADD. So then it's very hard for us to focus for a long time. So we can't focus for a long time. It's very hard to sustain any kind of kavanah, especially that level of kedusha, which the Amshinov had. Yes. In a word problem, we're just saying about a word problem. A word problem is continuous. In other words, it's not one thing you're focused on. It's like a Rubik's Cube. You're constantly in motion. If you had to focus on a Rubik's Cube in space without actually moving things, it would be much more difficult. You know, there are people who play chess blindfolded.
Yeah. How?
They
Yes.
can't see what the other person is doing for them.
They retain it in their minds.
They don't know what they're. No, but what about the other person?
What about the other person?
How do they know where he is?
The other person tells them, and then they retain it.
What about the numbers and letters?
What? Yeah. So we can't do that.
No.
Right, but there are people who can. So people like that have very disciplined minds.
Starts and the next box ends.
What? They memorize the board. They're playing in their heads.
Board has numbers and letters.
That's something you can look on YouTube too. Also, how there are people who play them great chess masters. They can play multiple games at the same time.
Yeah.
The mind is an amazing thing. We use very little of our mind's capacity during our lifetime.
Does like the fire yogi guy? Does he go in the fire to doesn't concentrate? He just does it to show off.
He does it because he thinks that that's how he serves his God.
To go into the fire.
So he doesn't
Yes.
look at the camera.
First, he sacrifices. He puts a lot of different. The Hindus are vegetarians, so first he puts a lot of different plants and foods based on rice cakes and stuff like that into the fire, and then he rolls it on the fire himself.
So he doesn't do it for the camera.
What?
So who videos it?
People video. Somebody once made a documentary of it.
How long is it?
India.
A lot of people are
45 minutes.
Of him just rolling around the front?
No, it's not the whole time. But you see about 15 minutes or so of him going around the fire. So it's 4. I'll finish in 5 minutes. So it's 4:35, I think. These are two ways, and there are many other ways. 2 ways in which one can develop oneself in life, focusing on Sheleymus, which means perfecting the talents which Hashem gave me, including chutzpah, just not anger and arrogance, or focusing on Dveykus and Hashem, how one connects to Hashem. Yeah, that's the article which I'm talking about. How one connects to HaKadosh Baruch Hu in a way which makes one conscious and aware of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And they're not mutually exclusive. Everybody can work on whatever they want, and sometimes one thing and sometimes the other thing. But you have to think, as you get older, what is going to make you the greatest possible person you could be. Because obviously if Hashem made all of us, each one of us has a mission and purpose in life. Hashem doesn't create anybody redundant. There are no spares, unlike in Harry Potter. So therefore who's the spare in Harry Potter? You guys don't know?
I don't do Harry Potter. It's a waste of time. I'm saying in this world,
Cedric.
dumb people who are waste.
Voldemort said kill the spare.
Drunk people.
No? Doesn't mean a goblet of fire?
Yeah.
Doesn't, yeah. Okay, so there are no spares. So everybody has a different task, and that's what Chazal say. Just like everybody's a different face, everybody's a different mission and purpose.
So why are there dumb people?
I'm sorry?
So why are there dumb people?
Because they have a mission and purpose which doesn't have to do with being smart. Not every. That's one of the problems, is that we assume that people need to be smart to have value. It's not true. Everybody has value whether they're smart or not.
So what can a dumb person do?
A dumb person can be very emotional, very kind, very nice, and they can actually accomplish things in a physical way which people who are intellectual don't do.
So why do high schools just stare at the grades? They don't care anything about the person. Because the grades show if he's.
Because our high schools are based on the intellectual model. They are based on developing intellect. It's not necessarily the right thing, but that's the way they're constructed.
Yeah, but if let's say you do,
I would love to change it too. I don't know if I can. I don't know if you can.
but
We
let's
should
say
try.
about one person who doesn't have good grades.
What?
But there's nothing for that person to do.
So in the old days, which we don't have today, that person would go and become an apprentice. You know what apprentice is? No. Apprentice, they work in a shop. Assistant, like in a shop, they learn how to craft, a trade. So nowadays, unfortunately, our yeshivas, schools in general, don't provide that kind of training. But yes, there are certain people who are not meant to be intellectual, and they'll be much better off. Say they become a carpenter, or they become an electrician.
Because But for electricians.
I'm just using, I'm just using an example. Yes, it's a different type of smart, though. You don't need trigonometry in order to become an electrician. Yes. I took trigonometry 11th grade in high school. Absolutely remember absolutely none of it.
What's trigonometry?
Trigonometry is advanced mathematics. You will take it and you'll do well in it. But I didn't. Yes. Yeah. All right, guys. I hope you have a good summer. I think it's the last session. Mirza Hashem, and whoever's here next year, we will continue in the fall.
Like and subscribe.
Yes.
Subscribe to Rabbi One.